guys, 10 Paw Steph here. I've got a really great recovery survival story for you about a dog named Blackie who survived and is recovered from distemper. And with his story, I have some great tips for you guys on how to socialize fearful and feral dogs. So let's jump into it, Black, shall we? It was about 10 weeks ago now that this dog first came on the radar of Santi Sook Dog and Cat Rescue Foundation. He was found really skinny, like deathly skinny. I'm gonna put in a picture here. Oh my god, so sad, right? So he's skinny and he is suffering from distemper. So if you guys don't know distemper, it's something that your dogs at home get vaccinated against as a puppy. Kind of all throughout the West, in most places, here in Thailand too, when people give their dogs vaccines, it's for distemper. It's a respiratory virus, so it's spread through nasal secretions and coughs, and it goes everywhere. And young puppies are especially susceptible to it. But adult dogs do get it as well, adult dogs like Blackie, so it's not as common in adults, but it does happen. Maybe if their immune system is already low because of blood parasite or something else going on with them. But, so he's in full-blown distemper. It affects the respiratory system, and then it goes to the brain because it causes a very high fever, and about half the dogs that get it die from it. Blackie went and he was at a local clinic called Pets to Care, which is a really great hospital, and he was there for 3 weeks and they treated him through the majority of it. But he was very aggressive. Like, he's a stray dog, a feral dog. He wasn't nice to them. So he came and they didn't really want to deal with him anymore. It was getting expensive to have him at the hospital, have him out back. So he came here to the Santi Sook Foundation at the cat shelter, and I've been taking care of him since for about the last 7 weeks. And it started out slow with us. He was very growly, snappy, not a nice boy, but he is not snappy or growly anymore, is he? So how we treated distemper, it's palliative care. You're treating for the symptoms. You can't cure it because it's a virus. There are not really any antivirals that are available to us here in the sheltering world in Thailand. So he was on a bunch of different antibiotics for secondary infections, a lot of nutritional support, vitamins, iron, vitamin C, all kinds of stuff. Some other stuff that I hadn't really worked with, but the vets at Pet to Care sent him with, he was in the morning, he literally had like 12 pills, and in the afternoon he had 8. So he was on a lot of meds. It was slow going, but as I said, it was a lot of meds. Luckily he was eating. His appetite had returned by the time he came to us, and so it was super easy to put the pills in the food and he'd eat it right up. So having a feral or fearful dog that is food motivated is a huge plus, because if they're not food motivated, then you got to find out what does motivate them. Is it going to be a toy? Is it going to be something else? It's really hard with a fearful dog. When they're food motivated like he was, it's super easy. What I did was I just sat with him every day and gave him little treats. Again, he was suffering from distemper, and it is a disease that's easily spreadable. That's why he was here at the cat shelter, because it doesn't spread to cats, or to domestic cats. And my understanding is it can spread to wild felines, like tigers and all those are dying of canine distemper, which is really scary, because you have populations of unvaccinated dogs that are owned dogs, or then owned dogs that went feral, and they're decimating our large predators, our large feline predators all over the world. So that is super scary, and another reason to fully vaccinate your dogs, people. You don't want this to happen to them, or to get out into the wild animal population as well. You gonna have your bone? So with distemper being so dangerous to other animals, when you're dealing with an animal that has distemper, when you're cleaning their habitat and medicating them and feeding them, you have to be really careful not to become a flow mite. You don't want to take all that nasty stuff that they're secreting out of their nose, out of their eyes, out of their mouth, and bring it to another animal. You could so easily do that on your shirt or on your shoes. So when dealing with the distemper animal, you use kind of proper PPE, so personal protective equipment. But you're not really protecting yourself, because distemper isn't zoonotic, but you're protecting the other animals around. So for a distemper case here in Thailand, you kind of have to get a little bit imaginative. I'm going to show you a picture of what I look like in my distemper gear right here. Oh yeah, looking good, right? You get the bin bag, the garbage bag, the rain jacket underneath, and then you bleach everywhere after. You throw everything out. You got to be really, really careful. So with this guy, I would sit with him, you know, feed him and clean him, and he would hide and be like, don't come near me because I'm going to bite you. And then if you accidentally hit him, not hit him, brush up against him while cleaning, he'd snarl, and it was very dramatic. So I would sit in the cage actually next to his right here, which there's a feral cat in there and he's really scared, so I can't sit there to show you how I did it, but I can tell you. So I would sit over there, not in physical contact with him, and take little pieces of cat food or little pieces of treats and throw them through the fence into this kennel here where he was. And so by doing that, he's like, oh, okay, I see you, I get food, that's cool. He would still stay a good meter away, at least 3 feet, and again, through the fence. And I would just sit there and read to him. So I'd have a book, or I'd have a blog or something on my phone. Even I was reading him BuzzFeed articles. Like, Blackie, when are you gonna get married based on your taste in dessert? Yeah, he's never gonna get married, because he doesn't like cheesecake, because he's ridiculous. Right, Black? No. So I would read to him out loud, and every second or third sentence I would say Blackie and make eye contact with him. So you just sit there and say, you know, reading a book, reading the thing. Oh yeah, and this is great, and then this character did this, right, Black? Isn't that exciting, Mr. Blackie? Would you like another piece of food? And then you toss him a little piece of food. So you kind of keep his interest, and then he's associating that name and your voice with getting treats and being comfortable. So we did that for a long time, and I actually didn't pet him until he was distemper free, till I was confident that he wasn't gonna be spreading that virus onto me, and then I could potentially, even though still wearing the PPE, could potentially infect other animals. So it was a couple of weeks with kind of the closed contact, not actually making contact. Then he had a big tick on his ear, and I really wanted to get that tick. Right, Black, you remember that tick? You remember that tick, Mr. Black? Yeah? And so I got a bunch of treats, and I came in, I sat down in here with him, and I just had the treats, and I said, okay, it's now or never. Reached out. Oh, you're gonna be scared because of the camera? So I did real gentle on his head, plucked the tick, and he was all right. And then I stopped. Gave him a big reward, so we got a big reward for for tolerating contact, and then I removed my hand. And then he just wanted more, and he'd come back for more, and he'd get another big treat. So when dealing with a fearful animal, you never want to push them too much. And always, every little incremental step that they make, when they show interest in you or they let you into their area without fear, you want to give a bigger reward for that. So you're just rewarding positive behavior. You never want to, obviously, like with a fearful animal, you never want to yell at them or there's no discipline involved. It's all about positives, right? Oh, Blackie, would you like a treat? He's still a little bit funny. Yeah, I'm not gonna take it. That's your treat, baby. So as you can see, doesn't he look amazing? He's filled out. You can still see those hips. You can still feel his spine a bit, but he's absolutely beautiful boy. He's such a beautiful boy. And he's a love bug. He's a sweetheart. He loves to get cuddles now. Yeah. He loves to get pets, and he'll curl up right next to me. And his skin's doing so much better. Oh, you want the treats? You want the, you're gonna have the treats? You silly. You silly. There you go, handsome. So when you're doing your when you're making them less sensitive to you, you want to use like a whole treat stick as the big reward. You want to chop up little pieces, so for little things they get a little reward, and then when you get big contact they can have a big reward. So Blackie's good with me now, and our main kennel hand here at the cat shelter, Piot, she's been giving him treats the same method every day. So a little bit through the fence, tossed at him, and she worked her way up to where he'll take a full treat stick right out of her hand now. So that's great. It's showing that he can make new friends. You just have to put in the effort. So with fearful and feral animals, a lot of the time in the context that I work with them, we're not going to have a long-term relationship. So we're just going to sterilize them and put them back. So it's not really worth the effort. With a dog like Blackie, he has some kind of injury to his rear end here, to his hips, and he doesn't have the best mobility. So he can walk, he gets along all right, but if he was put back in the situation that he came from, it might be difficult for him. So we're actually thinking about keeping him to rehome. He's still not neutered. He's still definitely not neutered. That's gonna happen next week. And then if he can become social with more people than just me, if he can kind of learn to chill out a little bit, he can be made available for adoption. He is a sweet boy. Tick. Bad ticky. So the way he acts with me, if he would act with a potential adopter, someone that was willing to give him a home, a safe place, I think that he'd be worth putting up for adoption rather than returning to the streets. Like, personally, I don't want to put him back because I really like him, but I don't want him to just not waste away, but I don't want him to just live at the shelter either. So we're going to see what we can do. We're going to push for adoption because he is a special boy. To survive distemper, to who knows what he went through first. Who knows what kind of life this dog has had. And then to come out of distemper, he deserves a chance to have a family, have some love every day because he wants it. He's a real sweet boy. So yeah, that's where we'll leave it. I will definitely let you guys know if Blackie gets adopted, how things go. More ticks, oh my goodness, look at all these buggers. If you wanted to know more, if anybody has any specific questions about dealing with fearful or feral dogs, let me know. I've dealt with my fair share. Feral cats I've dealt with pretty well, but I don't really like them so much. So dogs, definitely. If you have general questions about feral cats, about socializing, I'm happy to answer those to the best of my ability, but dogs, I can definitely hopefully give you guys some good advice. So let me know any questions you have about that. If you would take Blackie, if you would adopt him if you were here, and any questions about anything, let me know down in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. So yeah, me and Blackie, we're gonna cuddle for a little while, and then I get a clean, and we'll see what happens. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's wonderful to make these videos for you. I'm a terrible YouTuber, I know, but I do enjoy putting out the amazing stories of the animals that I work with. Oh, buddy. Big kisses. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Blackie, you gonna do your din-din dance? You gonna do your dance? You hungry, boy? You gonna dance? You gonna dance? And this is nothing compared to his breakfast dance. Dinner dance is nothing compared to the breakfast dance. Handsome. Handsome boy.